So for me, I was like, this is gonna be a fucking world record.
He done it! It's a world record!
Everything is always impossible until someone does it.
I was a really frustrated actor living in Los Angeles. My parents were crushing it in business. My brother and sibling, their careers were taking off. I was like feeling really small. And I went to see Robert Evans speak, and one of the things he said that really struck me was, when I was down and out, I decided to write a book that was just for me.
I didn't care if 2 people bought the book, it didn't matter.
And he goes, and from there things took off. And when he said that, I really heard it. And so then I started to kind of think, like, what can I do? What were the things that I had in my life at that moment that I could capitalize on? I mean, my dad owned a big building. I had time because I had no job. I know model bookers, maybe they'll send some of their talent to do test shoots with me. I could have an art show. So I made these invitations with a date, a time, a location, and I invited everybody. Friends and family, people I knew in entertainment, club promoters. I invited everyone to an art show that I had no art for in a month. And then I started taking pictures. I brought my friend Todd Cole, came to the space with me, and he was like, listen, your photos are cool, but like, this is a huge space. So people are gonna be like, where's the art? And so we were standing on the balcony of the swimming pool, and he was like, I don't know if you could do it. If somehow you could blow up a photo that's the whole floor of the empty swimming pool, it would be epic. When he said it, I kind of got like a little pit in my stomach because I was like, how the hell am I gonna do that, bro? So I looked up how much a large format print of that scale would cost, and it was astronomical. But like right around that time, I went to go see David Hockney's retrospective, and what he had done is he literally would just take machine prints and then he would like collage them all together to make a big photo. So I was like, I'm gonna do it that way. So this girl, Sasha Polraver, a really good friend, still is. She's like, listen, you have the invites out. Let's just do the math right now. It's even possible to do these on your printer. Literally, if I ran 2 home computer printers running 24 hours a day, I could pull it off within hours of when the show starts. And then I basically went to work. So I took this picture of me like in Speedos, all greased up, shot it at my grandma's house. We basically got like the tallest ladder ever, and it looks like a helicopter took the photo. There were a lot of like technical things that I had to figure out. It was over 4,000 sheets of paper. Just the ink cost $6,000, and that's wholesale from Mexico. They could not stop. Like if the ink ran out, I had to be like right there and put it back in. At some point, I'm installing and printing at the same time. I was sleeping like next to it to kind of hear, like, you know, to see like, is it stop? Fucking nuts. Around that time, one of my friends was saying like, yo, like I think this is kind of like a world record. Like this is like the biggest photo ever printed from a home computer printer. Like you should hit up the Guinness book and see if they'll come. And of course I was like, yeah. If I got in the world record book as like an 80s kid, I'm like, yeah. So I called the Guinness book. They were like, listen, we need like way more advance notice to come. I was like, is there a rush fee? And I remember it was like way more money than I had, and I was like, fuck it. Rush fee, fly the guy out. They had like a guy who came who was an assessor. I was like, I'm gonna set a world record. This thing is sick. I was so excited, but literally, as people were starting to come in, I was still finishing it. And I wasn't sure if people were gonna show up, and then people started to show up, and dude, the party started to pop. All my peers were there, and like a lot of people who were like, he fucking did it. Like I remember Todd Cole, when he came, he was like you fucking did it. And then of course, you know, it was a phase in my life where like my dad's approval meant everything to me, you know? And when I went up to him, I was like, what do you think? And he said to me, look, it's really nice, but he's like, and you worked so hard on it. You know, he gave me that, but he was like, but what's this for? He wasn't doing anything wrong. He was doing what he always does, which is like, he's just honest. I'm really sensitive, you know? And so when he said that, it crushed me. Anyhow, the next morning I wake up and there's a voicemail on my cell phone from an unrecognized number. And when I push play on the recording, it says, hey, this is
Melissa Etheridge. I wasn't at your art show yesterday, but I think you're the artist I'm looking forward to design my next album cover.
And the short version of the story is that's the job that launched my career. And when I got that call, I realized this is why you did this. Even though I didn't know that would happen, I knew because of what Robert Evans had said that something good was gonna come out of doing something that was just for me. Did you get the world record? Unfortunately, I did not get the world record because the Guinness book said that category I fell in, I was competing with other very large format images like on the sides of buildings and things that were just a lot bigger than what I had put together. Right.